All right, welcome back. So today, a handsome pastor wants divorce after DV allegations. I'm going to read this story on Punch News to you, and then we're going to dive into. We're going to work together to extract about 14 lessons. Okay. I promise I won't give us manual, just 14 lessons. Okay, 14 lessons that we can learn from this particular crazy story today. It's a crazy story, but at this point in time, I'm not sure if we can call it crazy because we're seeing a lot of these stories everywhere, right? And it's kind of sad because honestly, it's time that we learn something new. When you're confused, it's time to learn something new. All right, so the story. Here goes the story. Hold on 1 second. Where is it? Where are you? Where is the story? Oh, okay, I think I found it. No, I was ready. Trust me, I was ready. Okay. So this was in not Punch. It was in Pulse NG. Okay, but I think it was carried by Punch first. Pastor's wife seeks divorce over assault and infidelity. That's the title. They didn't say I was the one that added the Anson part. Welcome, Uluremi. Good to see you. I was the one that added the Anson part. Sorry, but you see the guy on the thumbnail is an Anson guy now, right? Would you say Anson? All right. So it says the woman who is also a midwife, that her husband beat her to a pulp and sent her packing from their matrimonial home afterwards. Modupe, the wife of the founder and lead pastor of an evangelical ministry based in Lagos State, identified simply as Akintunde, has accused the cleric of assaulting her. The wife is accusing him of assaulting her. Modupe said her husband constantly assaulted her over allegations of infidelity. She leveled against him at their residence in the Onosa community, Ijebu-Lekki local government area of Lagos State. Okay, this happened in Lagos State. It was gathered that the couple's marriage, blessed with 5 children, started experiencing challenges when Modupe, on separate occasions, accused her husband of having a romantic affair with 2 church members. Angered by the allegations, Modupe claimed that her husband allegedly slapped and beat her up, adding that during one of the attacks she lost consciousness and was later hospitalized. Trigger warning. Okay. She explained that her marriage had collapsed as her husband, who accused her of influencing church members to quit as a result of the adultery allegations, had sent her packing from their matrimonial home and was seeking a divorce. Modupe said, "What caused the fight," and I quote, "what caused the fight was because I accused him of adultery with female church members. I discovered he had an illicit affair with 2 female church members, but when I confronted him, he threatened and beat me up. The first time that I got to know that he was having an illicit affair with a female church member was when I contracted an infection from him. I confronted him about the infection, and he told me he was also experiencing similar symptoms. We called our nurse and she treated us. The same nurse also treated a female church member for the same infection and informed me about it. That was how I got to know about their romantic affair." Modupe said after confronting her husband, their relationship worsened, adding that instead of doing things to improve the condition, the pastor allegedly got into another illicit romantic relationship with another female church member. just in case. I'm gonna drop the link just in case you have something to say about this. I would love to hear it. We have to be on time today, just so you know. If you want to call in right away. All right, so the pastor allegedly got into another illicit romantic relationship with another female church member, right? So she said, this second incident of confronting my husband over alleged adultery and another female church member happened last year. The fiancé of the female church member got to know about the illicit affairs, and he informed some members who stopped worshiping at our church. My husband started saying I was using the adultery allegations to influence the church members to leave, whereas it was the fiancé of the church member he was romantically involved with. He became angry and ordered me to pack out, to leave the house. I disagreed because there was no place for me to go. But for my safety, I was advised to give him space. I left with some loads and returned around December 2023 to spend the festive period with my children. When he realized I was at home, he locked me in one of the rooms for 2 hours, despite one of my children begging him. The midwife further revealed that she left the house and returned in January 2024, adding that sometime in April she was at her matrimonial home when she took delivery of a lady's child, and her husband, who was bent on her leaving the house, allegedly attacked her till she fainted. She said, he slapped me and pressed my neck till I fainted. I woke up with water all over my body. I also saw that people had gathered around me. He kept saying I had overstayed in the house and he wanted me to leave. Whereas it was not only his money we used to build the property, I also contributed my money when we started building the property and the church. I have left the house to treat myself. I spent a week in hospital, and as I'm speaking with you, I am still going to the hospital for treatment from home. It has not been easy eating because my neck is still hurting. It was our neighbors who called my family members who came to take me to the hospital after I regained consciousness. On his part, Pastor Akintunde denied the allegations, but noted that efforts were on to divorce his wife. Regarding the romance allegation with female church members, Pastor Akintunde said, I am a pastor and I have a congregation, and she used to bully everyone that she saw with me, or you saw me with. She used to bully everyone that she saw me with. I wanted to divorce her, and she had already packed her load out of the house, but she later returned her load. Confirming this case, Lagos Police Public Relations Officer PPR Benjamin Udein said it had been charged to court. Let me come to the chat. That is the story. That's all we know. That's all we know. I want to hear your take on this. Let me hear. Oh, you can put it in the chat. I'm going to read some of your stuff right now. Sparkleberry said STD. Okay, so remember yesterday when I was asking men's biggest nightmare, right? We said it was paternity fraud, right? It's STD is one of women's biggest nightmare when it comes to this thing called relationship right now. So, gentlemen, if you do some things, once they start accusing you of STD, it's almost a point of no return. Okay, she might never feel comfortable again. Okay. Low button, exactly. This nurse self, HIPAA no de Niger, HIPAA in Niger. No. The nurse has told on the pastor. But again, I'm not sure if she didn't say that the pastor, she didn't say the nurse, she said the nurse said, the only thing she said the nurse said is that she treated, right? Yeah, she broke the HIPAA law, but she treated that person of the same disease, right? No privacy. No privacy. Why are we not surprised? You're not surprised? It's a pastor. It's a whole pastor. You have to be surprised too. The nurse was wrong herself for that. Well, please, what did the nurse do? Had a break in my network connection. The nurse told other people's business to other people, another patient's business to another patient. But that's just HIPAA law. So I think all they can do is fire her, I guess. But this is Nigeria, who cares? No, I don't think the nurse was wrong. Beyond Braid said, no, I don't think the nurse was wrong. Chiye said, yeah, I believe the nurse is a family nurse. Okay, so what? So this will fall in what, like family history, right? If you tell a family history to another person in the family, could you still be breaking HIPAA law? I think so. I think you can say, you can reveal that in my family we have this and that. You don't get to tell somebody's disease that they were treated for to another person, unless they were some kind of even emergency contact. You can't tell emergency contact. I think you can tell a person with what they call it, a person with power of attorney, I think, or next of kin. Even with emergency contact, I don't think you can share people's patient information. I don't think you can share with them. Please, I'm confused. Police said it has been charged to court. It's not the same police that pastor used to throw her out. Did they say that? Maybe I might have missed that in my readings. But she was thrown out. I don't think in Nigeria, I don't think you need police to throw a woman out. It depends on what part of Nigeria or what kind of ward you are in. Beyond Brace, or she's a church nurse. I think it's a family nurse. In Nigeria, family nurse, all that HIPAA law we just said right now. Put them right straight. Put them right here. This is where you should put them. Put them here. Put that in the poto, okay? All that HIPAA law, when you both stuff we just said, leave that thing on one side somewhere, okay? They're telling, okay? It is what it is. She might be loyal to the pastor's wife. It still breaks the law. You're still not supposed to do that. But put it in the poto. It's Nigeria. It is what it is, okay? All this unnecessary drama is marriage by force. This is a pastor. Marriage is by force. So this is a pastor. This is a pastor. Beyonce Brace says, women supporting women. I see that. I guess, as we're talking about STD now, maybe she's like, I'm afraid for your life. I needed to tell you. I know. But you never know. She might just be a pastor side chick too. Maybe she wanted to get rid of her. Just another angle. I don't know why I thought about that. I'm trying to join on a gang. Let's just assume some other possible scenarios, right? Maybe she's just trying. Remember, there's a video that we saw on social media some months ago, where the girl called her friend. I think it's like, he just told me to leave the house or something like that. Like, I'm leaving right now. I said yes, and then the next thing she called the husband. It's like, good riddance to bad rubbish. Anyway, the pastor. Do you believe the pastor or do you believe this lady? The pastor is saying, no, none of that happened, right? This lady said, she was in the hospital. We can choose. Do you believe her that she was in the hospital? Because, right, she will need evidence. There should be some witnesses, right? Because she said people gathered around her. There should be some kind of witness if she goes to the court, right? Since people were gathered in the neighborhood, there should be enough people that, even there will be men that will sympathize with her, right? Say, we saw you beat this woman now, right? Yeah. Anyway, what can we learn from this? Any lessons you guys want us to learn from this story? What should we learn from this story? What should we learn? Hit the like button, I beg, I beg. Hit the like button. Thank you, thank you. Don't worry, we'll wake up the algorithm at some point. Let's hit the like button. Thank you. Pastor K sounds like a religious man. He's the pastor of a church called Evangelical something something. Yeah. Oluremi said, I believe the lady. You believe her? Why? Why do you believe her? What is it that she said that made you feel like she definitely went through all of that? He said, she said, MOP, I wasn't there, but there really is no smoke without fire. 100% I agree with you. Actually, personally, I believe the lady, but we don't know, you know. Now, there's some aspect of it that I really wanted to pull out. Let me see. Oluremi said, the reason why I believe her is because there's a similar situation with someone I know. That's your reason for believing her? Huh? Let me see here. I want to dissect it, right? The woman, who also is a midwife, stated that her husband beat her to a pulp and sent her packing from their matrimonial home. Okay. This happens a lot in Nigeria. There's nothing new in that. That happens a lot. We covered our FFK story yesterday, right? Even a whole politician, well read, somebody who has been traveled, who is exposed, they do that. How much more people that might not be as exposed as FFK, right? Regular folks. How much more a religious regular folk in Nigeria? You know how they be. They essentially operate. They own the house. It doesn't matter if she contributed to the house, by the way. Modupe, the wife of the founder and the lead pastor of Evangelical Ministry based in Lagos, identifies simply as Akintunde, as accused the cleric of assaulting her. It was gathered the couple's marriage, they have 5 children, by the way, 5 children, started experiencing challenges when Modupe on separate occasions accused. So she started accusing her husband of romantic affair with 2 church members. One of them was because the nurse told on the pastor. And the nurse potentially is a church member too. Now, here's the thing. Angered by the allegation, Modupe claimed that her husband allegedly slapped and beat her up, adding that during one of the attacks, she lost consciousness and was later hospitalized. Okay. So now, there's a fight between the two of them. Usually, there's a fight between the two of them. It's just that we keep telling women, some of these men, they have no self-control, which is terrible. Which, yes, let's check those men. They have no self-control. But we have to tell you, like, men, you cannot, physical men, right? Don't do that. Don't raise your hand and slap a man. You don't know how he will react. Don't do that. Okay, don't do that. If it's already smelling like emotional, verbal abuse, you should already be out of the house all by your own. But I get it. In Nigeria, in the Nigerian setting, people don't always have the resources. Even here, people don't always have the resources to be able to move, right? So it might not be an easy decision to just move. It might not be. So it's easier said than done. But everything we say here is easier said than done, right? But we still need to make sure your life is protected. She explained that her marriage had collapsed as her husband, who accused her of influencing church members to quit as a result of the adultery allegations, had sent her packing from the matrimonial home and was seeking a divorce. Okay, so he said, get out. Modupe said what caused the fight was because I accused him of adultery. Okay, we went through that already. The first time was with some lady that contracted infection. Confronted him on the infection. We called our nurse. Who is we? Her and the pastor. So we called the pastor. So called the nurse. And the nurse treated us. The same nurse also treated a female church member for the same infection. So one female member, who is we? I confronted him about the infection and he told me he was also experiencing similar symptoms. Okay, pastor and wife was experiencing the same symptoms, the infection, and they together called the nurse. And the nurse also treated another female member for the same infection and informed me about it. How that was how I got to know about their romantic affair. Now, my question for you ladies is that when you see something like that, right? Why not assume that maybe the woman is also sleeping with the other woman? Maybe that's how she caught infection. Why do we always assume that it's the man? I'm just asking for a friend. Uncle Beno, where are you? I'm asking for a friend. Modupe said after confronting her husband, their relationship worsened, adding that instead of doing things to improve the condition, the pastor allegedly got into another illicit. Oh, that's when he now got into another one with another lady. No, I wasn't following. I was just reading to you guys. She said the second incident of confronting the husband, that ended up being somebody else's fiance. Okay, it was now the fiance that told the whole church. Okay, now here's the thing. Okay, the pastor did not say, he did not confirm that people were leaving his church. She's the only one that said that. She's alleging that people started leaving the church, and he's saying it's because she's gossiping around the church about his affairs. I don't see anything here that says he admitted to that. But if that happens to be the truth, if people are leaving the church, and people are leaving because they have their reasons, I've seen this growing up. People will leave church. Okay, they will leave church. There are some that will stay with you, too. There's more than enough people that will stay with, even if they see koro bad behavior on the pastor, they will still stay. There are some like that. And some will live with the pastor. Even if the pastor was not the senior pastor of the church, but he's leaving to go somewhere else because they kicked him out. Some people will actually follow him. Christians are not your mates. Anyway, let's keep going. But for my safety, I was advised to give him space. I left with some loads, okay, for physical safety. Okay. Now she left and then she came back, okay, and then the guy found out, and then basically voila, sued again. He slapped me and pressed my neck till she fainted. Now, there's some lessons that I want us to learn. This is the story, okay? We don't really know what happened there. We can only look at this and say, hey, these things tend to happen in relationships. Beyond Braid said, I don't believe either of them. There's element of truth on both sides, right? There's a good chance that she was jealous. There are first ladies like that. They see women, because the reality is that there will be women who will come and kneel down and say they want prayer, lay hands on us, they will do that. Okay, women, the same obìnrin. That boundary thing that I always talk about. Now they struggle with the boundary thing the most. Right? This is somebody else's husband. Move with some courtesy. No. She would do all right. She knew that our poor husband is a fine boy now.
Let be poor. Breathe.
I beg. You are sharing with all the ladies in the church. Okay. MOP is true. I hope she's not on here. No, I believe you now. I believe you. He says, you sound like Uncle Beno. It's crazy out there, especially in Nigeria. I believe her. Listen, so there's element of truth on, but I believe her more, because we know that these things, and we know that women and children are the most vulnerable group in society, especially in Nigeria. There's probably people getting away with this kind of behavior anyway. And we saw an example yesterday with evidence. So that's just belief. We don't know what happened, right? DV is a no. STD is a night terror. As for me, I would have left a long time ago. You don't need to stay until you buy. MOP, this one is affair with 3 women new. I know. In the church. I know. V Bennett, what's up? What's going on? I'm seeing that name for the first time, but welcome. Hit the like button. Thank you. I appreciate you. They are guiding principles. Chinye, are you behind? Are you watching from the rewindy? Yes, that happened to my former church at my former church, the pastor's son was caught with infidelity and they told him to step down. MOP, half of the church left with him. It's happened how many times? Actually, I lost count. Because I'm a church boy. I was raised in church. So I'm not exaggerating. I promise you, I'm not trying to count right now. I've lost count. Okay? That's what it is. It is what it is. It's church human. It's humans that go to church. So please manage your expectations when you're dealing with church people, just so you know. Anyway, I want us to see what are the lessons. Anybody? I think somebody else put lessons here. What are the lessons that you guys would think of before I go into my lessons? Okay, you know what? Let's work it together. Let's work these lessons together. Okay. I'm gonna put a segment between this so that we can separate it. You feel me? Yeah, let's get to the lessons. I'll be right back. Promise.